McCrispy strips are now at McDonald's. Tender, juicy, and its own sauce. Would you look at that? Well, you can't see it, but trust me, it looks delicious. New McCrispy strips, now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
All right, y'all, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Behind the Mic, powered by Revolt Podcast Network. I'm your host, Wise Rosette, RPN Community Manager and podcast enthusiast. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Hopefully it's still there by the time I hear this episode, at Revolt Podcast Network, and on Twitter at Revolt Podcast. Now, we're about to jump into a really cool interview, but what I need y'all to do right now is subscribe to Behind the Mic wherever you listen to your podcast. Wherever you're listening right now, just go and subscribe. So now that you know a little bit about us, let's talk about our guest today. So now our guest is going through a little bit of a reset right now. Boss Babe reset, y'all will hear a little bit more about that. So yes, Ericka Nicole, welcome to Behind the Mic.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to get into it.
Yes. I'm excited as well, too. So your podcast was called Behind the Silk before. So talk about real quick, who you are and, what went into the rebrand.
Yeah, so my name is Ericka Nicole. I'm the founder of SILKENN Skincare, also a podcaster, obviously, or I wouldn't be here. And yeah, the podcast was called Behind the Silk because it was really my journey of building my brand SILKENN. But then I realized there's so much more that was going into the episode. So we decided to rebrand entering this new year, 2025, as the Boss Babe Reset. And it's really for my corporate girlies, my entrepreneurial girlies who want to prioritize career success without burning out. So Boss Babe Reset was born, and we are really ready to take these conversations to the next level.
That is incredible. And I'm so excited to hear more about the rebrand and hear more about you, because we are on Behind the Mic, of course. You are a boss babe in yourself. You own your own business. So you want to hear a little bit more about that. But before we dive into that, let's talk about the music. We have this new playlist on Spotify called the B-Sides Track of the Week, where you can find all of our guests' favorite songs anytime. So B-side tracks to me are songs that aren't really popular, but are just as good or better than A-side tracks. So, Ericka, please give me a B-side track that you got on your playlist right now.
So right now, I'm personally in the midst of 21 days of prayer and fasting. Shout out to Trinity, New York, the best church in New York, in my opinion, and I'll stand on that 10 toes down. But on my playlist right now is House of Miracles by DOE, because we are praying for some really, really big things this year, a couple miracles in the midst. So that has been on rotation at least twice a day.
I love that. I need that on my rotations as well, too. So you all know where you can find that. It's exclusive to Spotify. And sometimes, we need that affirmation, especially at the top of the year. We are all looking to add a little reset to our lives. Well, some of us. Some people don't wait till the beginning of the year or whatever it is. But do you do vision boards? Let's talk about that.
I do vision boards. And I know some people are like, oh, not new year, new me, or they start planning for 2025 months in advance. But I feel like the new year is such a special time because it's like, as a collective, we as a people, as a community have decided that we're all trying to start something fresh, start something new, implement new habits. So I think that's the difference of really year. But yes, I am a vision board girly. I used to be a paper vision boarder, but I realized I would make the vision board, put it in the closet, not look at it, which is unhelpful. So now I do them in Canva, and I actually make them my phone screensaver. So every time I check my phone, we are reminded of what it is we are trying to achieve this year. You can't run from it. So that's been my little hack since last year.
That is so cool. I just signed back into Pinterest, and I saw that you can do like vision boards on there as well too, sort of. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely tap in. I didn't know where I could place it, but the phone screen, I'm with you. I'm with you. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now we know a little bit about you in front of the mic. So let's get to the person behind the mic. So you own your own business, SILKENN?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about that and like what led you to that journey of launching your own company.
Yeah, so SILKENN is really a pollution protection skincare brand. That's basically how I like to refer to it in lay terms. And we're all about protecting skin from environmental stressors. I live in New York City, big city, a lot of pollution, all the ozone, all the nastiness, smog in the air. And that's kind of where my journey started. I've had acne and eczema since I was a child. And I started traveling a lot after college. And that's when I really realized that those stressors were having such an impact on my skin, because I would go to the Caribbean and skin glowing, thriving, were great. Then I would go to Arizona, for example, in the desert, and my skin was like, why are we here? Go back. And that's where I really just started to really analyze these changes. And that's where the idea for SILKENN came from. So I've actually been working on this brand since 2021. This has been a long time in the making. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of hiccups, all the things. But now we're at this point in 2025 where we are ready to launch. And I'm more confident than ever in our team and capacity to do so. So that's why I said 2025 is going to be a really, really big year.
And I keep hearing New York, New York, New York. I'm from Brooklyn. So tell me a little bit more about your New York.
New York.
Where you from?
We're proud people.
You know it.
Okay. Well, don't hold me. So I live in Westchester. Westchester is like right above the Bronx, okay, like 25 minutes to Midtown, so don't play with us, because as soon as I say Westchester, everybody be like, oh, upstate. No. Okay, upstate is like Buffalo, that's Canada, okay. We still rep New York. Proud New Yorker, born and raised. I've literally lived in the same county all of my life, basically, except for college when I was in Connecticut, but I would come home every weekend because free laundry, free food. There. Why would we not do that?
So what would you say about your background or upbringing that has shaped your values?
That's actually one of our jokes internally, like that's your grandma's skincare brand, because they had war and we have global warming, and that's some real stuff right there. But yeah, about Westchester. So I go to the city a lot. I used to work in Dumbo, then West Village. So I spent a lot of time in the city. And I will say that just living in New York, we are just bred different. Like we just have a different level of street smarts. Our grind and hustle mentality, our work ethic, like I feel like it's just different. And I think it's because of exposure. I mean, you can be on the subway sitting next to a millionaire, and you both are going downtown relatively to the same place. So there's pros and cons. Definitely you can see the wealth gap and disparity. That's a part of it. But you're also exposed to the elevated, wealthy, rich side of the city, and it gives you something to strive and attain for. So I think that grit and that hustle mentality is something that I'm so grateful to New York for, because I've been to some other cities, and this is no shade to y'all, but y'all don't move like us. Y'all don't move like us, and that's just that. So I'm very grateful for that.
No shade to other cities, but y'all do not move
shade
like us. No shade. No shade. On the other side of this break, we're kicking it into overdrive with our rapid fire game right after this.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
And we're back, y'all. Thanks again for sticking around. Now, we are kicking it into overdrive with a rapid fire game of Would You Rather? And we're starting in 3, 2, 1. Would you rather guest star on a hit TV show or have a cameo in a blockbuster movie?
Ooh, cameo, blockbuster.
Would you rather have a 3-second clip of your podcast go viral on TikTok or have a viral tweet?
Tweet.
Okay. Would you rather interview a celebrity right after a major scandal or right after a major career comeback?
Major career comeback.
Would you rather only be able to post on Instagram or TikTok for the next year?
Instagram. I'm a millennial.
All right. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, millennials. We out here.
Going strong.
It's hell on Meta.
Our knees hurt, but we good.
And our shoulders from carrying everybody on this digital ecosystem. Like we be carrying the folks.
Okay.
We the test dummies. We all that. They done ran amok with us. Ericka, I'm not gonna lie, it's been really fun having you on the episode. Thank you so much for coming. Before we end the episode, what's one thing you need people to know about you that they wouldn't get from listening to your podcast?
Know about me. I'm sensitive. So I think that's been a big reservation for me with posting online, because I don't like negativity. I just don't have space for it, because I am a soft girl at heart. So be kind, be nice, and please, the world can use more of it.
I love that. And I resonate 1,000%. Where can they find you on the socials? Where can they find the podcast? Tell me all the things.
Yeah, you can find me on all social media platforms at the Ericka Nicole. That's ERICKA because we're extra special. And you can follow the podcast at Boss Babe Reset on all social media platforms.
Okay. And y'all can listen to the podcast on listen.revolt.tv. Don't play with us, y'all. Well, thank you so much again, y'all, for listening to another episode of Behind the Mic, powered by Revolt Podcast Network. I'm your host, Wise Gazette. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, formerly known as X, at The Real Wise, WIZE. Come special like that. I'm internationally known on the microphone as Wiz, Wizzy, and Wise, and I am signing out.
If you're looking for flavor, rhythm, and real culture, Chicago is where it's at. Hit a street fest in Pilsen, catch a free show in Millennium Park, or vibe out to a house music set where it all began. Then take that summer energy and roll through the rest of the state, hitting up hidden gems, chill outdoor escapes, and road trips for days. Enjoy Illinois, the middle of everything. Plan your trip at enjoyillinois.com.